welcome to today's podcast where we're going to be talking a little bit more about YouTube and how you can slowly build up a monetized channel and the work that goes into getting to that point. And that's something which I've done over the last 3 years. Yep, that's right. It took me over 3 years to monetize on the channel. And in my first week of earnings here on YouTube, I've just got the screen share in front of me now. I've made a grand total of $13.90 in the first 7 days advertising on the platform. So, not a whole lot of money, but better than nothing, and certainly a lot more than I was getting for the previous 3 years. But one of the things that goes into building a successful YouTube channel, I think, firstly, is identifying what your goal is with the channel. Are you looking to use it as a branding tool for your business to get an advantage over the competitors? Are you looking to actually become a full-time content creator? Or are you someone that is not quite sure on where they want to go yet with it? Or are you wanting to advertise products on YouTube through videos? What's your ultimate goal with that? And I think that's probably the best starting point, because in the video that I made about the future of this channel here, I was talking a lot about how when I started with the channel, I was just doing live videos. Hadn't really done too much preparation for those videos. It was kind of just plucking ideas out of the air and then going on to make videos about it. And as time went on, obviously, I began to change that strategy and philosophy, focusing more on Facebook and Instagram advertising and marketing, just making tutorial videos focused on those particular things. And that's something that's really helped my brand quite a lot, was looking at moving away from the live recordings where it's just my head talking. So there's no real interaction beyond somebody listening to me, but moving towards actually recorded videos where people can see tutorial videos where step by step they can actually learn things such as how to create a Facebook page for their business, how to create a business group, how to set up a Facebook ad, how to boost a post, all of those things that are really important. And then moving on to some of the more organic things, such as how to use the Meta Business Suite, how to find the insights for your page, how to create a custom dashboard if you are looking for organic or paid results, whether you're in the Ads Manager or in the Meta Business Suite. And all of those things gradually began to build a bit of momentum and snowball slowly. My wife, Hannah, did the thumbnails for me initially, going away from just the screenshots, which were rather terrible, towards some more professional looking thumbnails. And then eventually I actually made the decision to go and hire a professional thumbnail designer to really take the channel growth to the next level. And that was really the starting point for building some really good growth on the channel, because people could begin to see not only was there a focus on the creating good titles that would catch people's attention and also get the attention of people that were looking for videos like the ones I was making on search, but also it had a catchy thumbnail that looked reasonably interesting as well. And obviously the thumbnail process is always a work in process. It's something that you're always wanting to improve and get a little bit better. But I found that there was a couple of particular styles and photos that people just really seemed to respond to quite nicely. It wasn't too professional and corporate. It was kind of just that inviting, smiling picture of me or me pointing to something that really caught people's attention. And if you want an example of that, just go over to the video section on my channel and have a look at the most popular videos that I've done and look at the thumbnails that have been produced. Those were all ones that were done by the thumbnail designer who I hired, called Georgie. And I found him on Upwork, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made, investing in his time and engaging his services, because it started to rapidly improve the overall click-through rate here on the channel. And I always knew at a particular point that my content was at quite a decent level. We didn't have too much fluff and jazz inside of the video, and people who were searching for it or looking for it on a Google search and saw the video were getting exactly what they wanted. And the average watch time remained steady, but the click-through rate really took it to the next level. And that's been something which Mr. Beast has been talking about quite a lot in interviews that he's done, which is saying you need to focus on the click through rate and the average watch time. If you can master those two things, then you've instantly got an advantage on YouTube, and the algorithm is going to love you a lot more because it's keeping people here on the YouTube channel and keeping you interested and excited. And obviously, it benefits your channel as well. And it's the old phrase, I think it was by Sid Zidler, where he said, if you give enough people of what they want, eventually you get what you want. And that's really got to be the approach here on YouTube. So if that's like, the sort of goal is to become like a content creator, you've got to bear in mind that you need to have great catchy titles and amazing thumbnails. But once you've done that, where you've won half the battle doing those things, you need to go to the next point where you have to engage and keep people's attention. You have to think about the introduction that you've got in your video. How good is it at holding people's attention? Is it a classic um, introduction that you put on all of your videos, or is it unique every single time you're doing it? So always bear those things in mind and see how you can improve and get better every single time. Mr. Beast said that your first 100 videos are going to be not the greatest, and then you sort of look at improving every single time. I think that that is an interesting in perspective on it, but that's if you are wanting to go in with a content creator's mindset and be a full-time content creator. I would actually advise that you look at hiring a video editor at some point and see how that can help improve your video quality. I initially hired someone for a couple of videos, and that really did help the average watch time a little bit. But as soon as I found a video editor that was at an A grade level, that's when the channel really started to take off. And with the videos that have actually generated the most subscribers, it's been through videos where it's just professionally done, encouraging people to subscribe and hit the bell icon. It's not done through something that is too overly forced. But I wanted to come to the next part as well, which was talking about YouTube as a branding advantage tool, because I did mention in the video future of this channel as well that not a lot of marketing agencies and even a lot of businesses have active, engaged YouTube channels. They might have a YouTube channel where they've put a couple of videos up, but it's not something that's being done on a consistent basis. And one of the ways in which you can really showcase um, your knowledge and the benefits of using the products and services that you offer is just to have discussions around it. Do a walkthrough of a product, talk about the benefits of using that particular product, and slowly that builds trust and confidence in people's minds. And it helps you as well when you're showing up on Google for particular things, because if you produce a great video and people can find that on YouTube, then you've got an advantage over your competitors who are not doing that thing. Because a lot of people have websites, a lot of people sell online products, a lot of people have got ads that are being served to them time after time after time after time after time, day after day after day, but they often will just block it out. But if they're actively looking for a walkthrough of a product, or they're looking to get, say, for example, legal or accounting services, and they want to find that, say, let's say here in New Zealand, if they go and type that in on YouTube and they see that, ABC accountants have got a podcast discussion about end of year financials and they are giving you upfront value and advice, who do you think that person is going to choose? You or your competitor that is not doing that? Who are they more likely to trust? Who are they more likely to say, I feel like I'm connecting with this company a little bit more? Of course, it's going to be you, because you've taken a bit of time and effort to show them something that is of value to them. And you can't ever forget that. And one of the things which is probably the most important thing is, as a business, if you are in the professional services, seeing YouTube as a lead generation source. So I said that my friend Stuart was using YouTube to generate a lot of his leads. And it's, look, it's something which you've got to be intentional about. I don't think you should ever be afraid to say if you need help with anything related to, in my channel's example, digital marketing, paid advertising, feel free to reach out. But you have to time when you say that. One of the best pieces of feedback I've actually gotten recently from people is that I'm asking people to subscribe to the channel too early. In all the videos that I've done up till this point, I've asked people to subscribe way too early. And that's been something which is actually quite a good piece of feedback because I haven't delivered the value yet. I've only told people what they're going to get out of um, today's video and then ask them to subscribe. Whoa, 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 whoa. That is moving way too fast. That's moving from first base all the way to third base, and the pitcher hasn't even thrown the ball, and the batter hasn't even hit it yet. Trying to steal two bases just like that. It's too rushed, and even just like with the timing and the pace of things, taking it in a way that's understandable and having set dedicated chapters as well, but having the structure and the flow in a video. Because I think that if you can have a good structure and flow and you can kind of tell it like a story, then it's going to work a lot better. And as a business, you need to be good at telling stories about the brand. You need to know who your target customer is and you need to tell those stories really well. So that's something that, from a business perspective, you really need to be aware of. Not being afraid to sort of walk through and encouraging people to get in touch with you or to find out more about the product by including a link in the description box and telling people about that, but knowing when to do it. Because you don't want to do it at a point where they don't feel like they've got enough value yet and they feel like you're selling to them. You want to feel like it's a natural, organic transition away to it. And that kind of brings me over to the next thing as well, which is talking a little bit more about, will there be enough value in me, say, putting up more videos on a more consistent basis to try and make more revenue here from YouTube? And the answer to that is actually no, because number one, I actually really enjoy working on working in my digital marketing agency. I love client work, helping get people results, and really just being able to transform their businesses and their lives for the better. But I digress. Coming back to YouTube advertising, that's something which has been pushed very heavily by a couple of people. If you look at John Penberthy, if you look at Al Rakek, if you look recently at Jordan Platten, who's another big name in the digital marketing agency world, they're three people that are running quite a few YouTube ads at the moment. And of course, there's a lot of people that are doing appointment setting guarantees. I've gotten about 5 or 6 recently in the last week alone from different advertisers. And it's always quite interesting to see what their initial hook is. And quite a few of them are being very upfront and forward with what they're pitching and promoting. They'll say something like, coaches and agencies, we'll book you 30 to 60 sales calls in the next 90 days, or you don't pay a thing. Now, as an agency owner, that's quite an attractive offer, but you have to think about as well, how exactly does the process work? Like someone that does enjoy getting the details and more information from people. I need to know how exactly that works. What am I paying for it? How long will it take? And how many of those sales calls are going to actually be closed? And what's the overall return on ad spend that I can expect out of this whole process and system? And that's something which, as a YouTube advertiser, you always need to think about, your initial hook. What are you going to do to get people's attention? And how are you going to hold it in the ad that you're doing? And who are you targeting? And what are those people's interests going to be? If you're going after people that are into, um, for example, barbecues, you want to go for people that enjoy things that are related to that. People that might follow particular YouTube channels, people who might be looking for Weber barbecue prices, barbecue deals, 4 burner barbecue, 8 burner, 16 burner, whatever it is. Looking at how you can target people with the keywords, with their interests, and so on. And looking then at how you can craft your ad hook and get their attention and get the solution to the problem that you identify. And it's really quite a structured process. So, like, I think it was Tommy Powers who said you have your initial hook, you have the problems, and then you have the solution that you offer, and then you have the call to action at the end of all of that. And if you have a look at all the best YouTube advertisers out there, a lot of them are following that formula and process. Dean Graziosi's media buyer, Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins' media buyer, when they were doing that webinar training. You've got a lot of big people out there. You've got Keith Krantz as well. He's another person that I've seen pop up quite a lot on YouTube. Frank Kern, uh, I believe John Crestani. These people are all following a very similar structure and approach when it comes to YouTube advertising. They've got the hook, and they will have multiple hooks. They'll try, anywhere from 3 to 12 sometimes to see which one works best, and then they just turn off and ramp up the ones that do work the best. And then they got the, sort of identifying sort of the problems which the target market has, talking about what if or, the solution that is then offered, and then going to the final point of hit the link somewhere around this video. We've got this free training. Click on the link below to access it. We've got our webinar blueprint for $47. We've got recently launched accounting software, gas, barbecue, whatever it is. Just click the link below and you can get the special offer, special training, free ebook, whatever it is. And we look forward to connecting with you further, something like that. And it's a very successful structure and it doesn't need to be something that is reinvented all the time. If you can take that and apply it to your own business situation, if you know your target market well enough, you can definitely do very well on it. So I'd encourage you to have a look at that if you're looking at doing YouTube advertising. And I will also say finally today, thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Every Friday on this channel is Podcast Friday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell icon to get all the notifications for Podcast Friday. We talk about a range of topics related to digital marketing, and of course, we are always happy to answer any questions you may have about paid advertising and non-paid advertising as well. So leave a comment below. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.